Yehuda begat Parith and Zarah of Tamar. Bereshit, Genesis chapter 39. Now Yosef had been brought down to Mitzrayim, and Potiphar, an officer of Paro's, the captain of the guard, a Mithri, bought him of the hand of the Yishmaelim that had brought him down thither. And Yahweh was with Yosef, and he was a prosperous man, and he was in the house of his master the Mithri. And his master saw that Yahweh was with him, and that Yahweh made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Yosef found favor in his sight, and he served to him. And he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his hand. And it was from the time that he made him overseer in his house, and over all that he had, that Yahweh blessed the Mithri's house for Yosef's sake. And the blessing of Yahweh was upon all that he had, in the house and in the field. And he left all that he had in Yosef's hand, and he knew not aught that was with him, except the bread which he did eat. And Yosef was comely and well favoured. And it was after these things that his master's woman cast her eyes upon Yosef, and she said, Lie with me. But he refused, and said to his master's woman, Behold, my master knoweth not what is with me in the house, and he hath put all that he hath into my hand. He is not greater in this house than I, neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his woman. How then can I do this great wickedness, and sin against God? And it was, as she spoke to Yosef day by day, that he hearkened not to her, to lie beside her, or to be with her. And it was about this time that he went into the house to do his work, and there was none of the men of the house there within. And she caught him by his garment, saying, Lie with me. And he left his garment in her hand, and fled, and got him out. And it was when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand, and was fled forth, that she called to the men of her house, and spoke to them, saying, See, he hath brought in a Hebrew to us to mock us. He came in to me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it was when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment by me, and fled, and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until his master came home. And she spoke to him according to these words, saying, The Hebrew servant whom thou hast brought to us came in to me to mock me. And it was as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment by me and fled out. And it was when his master heard the words of his woman, which she spoke to him, saying, After this manner did thy servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. And Yosef's master took him, and put him into the prison, the place where the king's prisoners were bound. And he was there in the prison. But Yahweh was with Yosef, and showed kindness to him, and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And the keeper of the prison committed to Yosef's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison, and whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it. The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because Yahweh was with him, and that which he did, Yahweh made it to prosper. And it was after these things that the butler of the king of Mitzrayim and his baker offended their lord, the king of Mithraim.